So the third one is the DNA knot, and terrible handwriting I know, but you know, it's not really important, it's handwriting. So we're going to use pink again. That's about 8-9 foot, that one is. So again, you get the cord, you make a loop like a knot. This one, I'm just going to slide it straight on there when the knot's on there. I've already done the loop, and squeeze it onto there. Now this is very similar in knot wise to the millipede. This one goes left to right, right to left, left to right, right to left, left to right, right to left. Well, this one goes left, right, and it just follows around right. It goes from left to right, then that one goes underneath, then that one goes underneath. You'll see anyway. So the knot's pointing up, so you go against the knot, you go over the top, underneath and through, just like the millipede. Exactly the same knot there. So squeeze that and tighten it up. Now the difference here is, with the millipede you'd go over this way, but this one is going, even though the knot is pointing up, we go underneath, we go with the knot on this one, and we go underneath, around, through the loop. Get that central to the camera. And now again, rather than going against the knot, you're going with the flow of the knot, so you're following it right over left and around, underneath, through, and tighten. Now it's starting to look a bit like a cobra knot, but it changes very quickly. See, we're going not against the knot but through it, or with it. Same knot, just underneath, around and through the loop. Now the right one, over the top, underneath. So the left one is going over the top, the right one is going underneath. Yep, it's pretty simple to see. Underneath, through. Got to figure out which one I'm doing now. Yeah, pull this side here. Let me pull out so you can see a little bit of what I'm doing when stretching my hands out. Now you will start to see now where the DNA or the spiral knot pattern begins. Can you see how it's pulling up here, and it's like it's going down that way on that side? Okay, so the right one's going underneath. Just the simple twist around knot. It's the same thing over and over again. Left over the top, right underneath. Now this one we'll probably have to do 3 inches to get a really good example of the DNA knot. Pull that there, and there's a good example. It's starting to come out this side now. Okay, so if you actually use this information, can you please let me know, like, comment, whichever, just so that I know somebody's watching the videos and getting something out of it. I have plenty of knots to show you, favourite knots and knots that are invaluable when you're camping. I like camping in my hammock, and I use several knots, but only several knots. I don't use piles and piles of knots. Somebody once said, if you can't tie knots, tie lots. Well, I like to tie a few knots, not a lot of knots. And again, quick release knots is the way to go, so that you can quickly set up your camp, adjust it, and get on with your fire and your cooking and relaxing and being basically enjoying the countryside. That's what you go camping for. So don't forget to like and subscribe and share. There's lots of scouts out there and young kids, crafts and stuff like that, people who like doing crafts, who would love to know these types of knots. And if they haven't tried it, show them your bracelets, show them your lanyards, and they'll be very inquisitive very soon. I show young kids this at centres and they're fascinated, and once they get the bug for tying the knots, they're kind of hooked. They just keep wanting to learn other knots. Right, how far are we going now? So I think we've gone far enough down now. Right, so that's the three: the cobra, the millipede and the DNA. Now I'll show you what I haven't showed on the other ones there. Look, it's a lot clearer there why it's called the DNA. It's a spiral coming round and round, a bit like the patterns of what they describe on the TV channels of a DNA sequence.